Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Always Almost There, Day After Show Live. We are here today to talk about Goose Matthews and the Goose Matthews Band and the show that happened last night at the Gorge. Very exciting night for Goose, making their debut at such an incredible venue. And I'm joined by two fantastic friends who were there last night, one of whom saw his 100th Dave Matthews Band show last night. Big milestone. We've got Jarrett. We've got Garrett and Jess here today. Hi, guys.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Great. Tired. Long weekend. Lots of shows and driving.
Yeah, I'm doing great. It wasn't just his 100th Dave Matthews. It was his 99th Goose last night.
It's true. A lot of milestones coming in.
Oh yeah,
excited for you to hit 100. How many people have seen multiple bands 100 times? I feel like there's not that many.
You.
No, I'm not there yet. I've got another like 35 Fish shows until I'm there.
And about 5 J-Rat shows, right?
Anyway, so let's talk about last night. This was the third night of Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge. You guys were there all weekend. But take me through kind of the pre-show vibe last night. Were there a lot of Goose fans there? I know there's been a lot of Dave Matthews fans getting into Goose, especially over the past year or so. So was the prevailing sentiment that a lot of people knew and were excited for Goose, or were there a lot of first timers?
There was a lot of Goose fans there. Like when you were walking in the lot, when you were walking into the venue, there was Goose merch everywhere.
Mm-hmm. All 3 nights, not just last night. Like Amazing. You could tell people were there. Like obviously Garrett's there for Dave. Like he's been following Dave forever. But like I'm in the scene via Goose, and like you could tell there were people like me there. We were talking to anyone in Goose merch all weekend, but especially last night. Like we were there for the openers every night, and it was not like the vibe last night. People were like there for Goose. It was full by the time Goose went on.
And usually on a Sunday show at the Gorge, it's pretty light. A lot of people go home and get out early. And normally for openers, even like for Bela Fleck and the Flecktones, it was pretty empty down below. But yesterday, like it was packed for Goose. Lawn was packed. The down below was packed. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, Amazing. People were into it. It was cool.
That's awesome to hear. And I mean, 60-minute set, no jamming to speak of here. One really cool sit-in. We'll run through the set list, and I'll just let you guys, share your experience with it. Drive, Thatch, Western Sun, Hunger Sight, Give It Time, Jedstone, Hot Tea, Arcadia.
Yeah.
How good was Jedstone at Sunset at the Gorge?
I mean,
we're both in the 100 club for Jedstone.
Yeah, I'm no longer after last night.
I'm Jedstoned out. That was the one I think we could have done without.
Bad take.
And I know that, and Garrett was saying the message boards today too, everyone was obsessed with a Jedstone. I just think that we had a Western Sun, a Give It Time, and a Jedstone, and that's for 3 lower like vibe songs. And we probably could have scrapped one of them. Although honestly, it was the Western Sun with the sunset that was kind of really awesome.
Like we called that the night before, like after Bela Fleck and the Flecktones on night 2, you just looked over and like the sky was red, the sun was setting over the mountains. It was like, all right, this is the perfect.
Had to do it.
It was a given, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think that on the whole, it was the right set list for the crowd. Everyone was really into it. They really hooked people in right away. You could see as the set went on, like more and more people were just like locked in. And dancing. Obviously, like Hunger Sight, Give It Time, Arcadia are ones that like most people know if you're just like a casual fan. So the crowd was singing along, which was kind of cool. People were really into it. But yeah, I think we could have swapped one thing for more of like an arrow or an animal or something a little more like Dave-esque.
Or, hear me out, 7 minutes of jamming in like Hunger Sight or Thatch or something.
Yeah.
I think we knew we weren't going to get any jams. This was
Sure.
about hooking Dave Matthews Band fans who are
Yeah.
used to 3-4 minute songs with the occasional 10-15 minute jam.
Let's
When
not
you
make this a thing.
No.
But it did the job it meant to do. There were a lot of new fans that, like, a lot of people I was chatting to, because, I'm doing the FemFlock thing and talking to everyone and handing out stickers, and a lot of people like, this is my first Goose show, but I'm so excited. And afterwards, people were vibrating. Like, it was great. They really crushed. The vibes were high. I think we have some new fans.
Awesome. Yeah, and Garrett, you posted a picture of the written set list. I believe T was an audible and they had cut Arrow, which is interesting because I don't know where in a 60-minute set you have room for an Arrow.
Yeah, are you sure T was an audible? Yeah, T was an audible. Interesting.
I'm hyped about that. I went 14 shows without a T last year. Now they've done 3 in a row, which is like kind of crazy.
I was gonna say, you're Jed stoned out, but you're not tired of hot tea?
I mean, no, I'll take a hot tea any day. That was my entry point into Goose. And I went so long without one this last year that I was so excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Drive Thatch, Western Sun, standard, no jams. Hunger Sight, I think Rick did a little extra in the solo, which that was really, really killer. And like, you even heard it from the crowd, like when Hunger Sight started, when Give It Time started, like the pop was much bigger than any of their other songs. These are the songs that DMB fans know. Jet Stone wasn't expecting it there. I would have expected maybe a cover to hook fans like through that angle. But I turned to our friend Shane during it and was like, this kind of sounds like The Maker. Like it's that same vibe, which ironically later on we then got. But yeah, I was just looking on some Discords and DMB boards today, and Jet Stone was popular with the fans. And then the Arcadia,
it makes sense, but it's not what I was expecting with the horns.
I thought it was going to be Dustin.
I wanted an animal with horns.
That also, yeah.
Also with Dave coming out, he would have loved that.
Yeah. But the Arcadia, I guess they probably used Bogey's arrangement because they had charts. And then it was just cool to see a different take with Rashawn and Jeff versus who are not saying like Bogey and everyone else are not like masters of their instrument, but like
different. And they crushed that back and forth during the Arcadia jam was great.
Yes. And then the end, just Rick went off, and then the pop of the crowd was just huge at the end of the Arcadia peak.
Awesome.
Lots of Goose chants there, and then I was even more surprised. Like during the DMB set, there was a ton of Goose. Yeah.
Really quick before we get to that, before we move on from the Goose set, just another couple of things I want to add. Really happy that they drove all of their gear out to the gorge so we could hear Peter's new Rhodes in a soundboard, which it sounds and looks fantastic. Really looking forward to getting the boards hopefully soon. We are in a boards drought right now. We do not have Newport. We do not have Philly. We do not have Park City. We do not have Iowa. And we do not have Gorge. So hopefully we see those pretty soon. I'm hoping that maybe the motivation of like getting all these new fans who might want to listen back to this, maybe there's some motivation there to get the boards out, but hopefully we get it out. Because as my mom mentioned in the chat, the mix was a little messy on the stream, especially during Arcadia. The horns were a lot louder than the rest of the band. I think the keyboards were kind of overbearing at times, which is what happens when it's not, their stream mix and not their usual setup. But hopefully we get the boards soon there. So later in the night during the Dave Matthews Band set.
Yeah.
Wait, I have one more comment about.
Oh, yes.
Peter, if you're listening, get rid of the headband. Thank you.
It's an interesting choice.
It's a wrong choice.
He needs a better headband, I think.
Yeah, anything. Not this one. But also, Trevor, bring back the braids. Okay.
All right. Fashion advice from Jess. There we go.
Okay. Dave said, Dave is hyped on Goose. He didn't even give him an introduction before. He came out and he was like, I'm not going to give an introduction. You know what's happening, Goose. And then left. And then when they left, he was like, what about that? And then he mentioned it multiple times during his own set. You saw who was here. He was into it. It was kind of fun.
That's great.
And then, just huge Goose chants, even during the DMB set a few times. Then you heard Dave being like, I wish my name was Goose Matthews and the Goose Matthews Band. Another highlight was hearing Dave try to pronounce Rick's name.
Yeah, it was like a weird accent.
He said in Italian, Rotonda, and Rick chimes in, mi de rotonda.
That was good. That's funny.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the Maker as the sit-in. It would have been nice to not have a cover there. And if it was a cover, I would have preferred probably Cortez over the Maker, where Rick could do a little bit
like more. A real showcase. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice that Rick got to sing. But I was sad it was just one song. But I think just stepping back, these are my first real Dave Matthews shows. I went when I was in high school, but now it so much has changed in my life, and I view music and go to music differently now. The first two nights of Dave were very much jazz shows, dancey, fun, on my feet the whole time. Last night the second night they played an album all the way through. Garrett can nerd out on this, but then last night's show was very much a
wrong pod.
But last night's show was very much a calm show. I don't know if it was more deep cuts or what, but it was not a jazz show in that sense. And so I was hoping Rick would come out on something fun and dancey and
higher energy.
Yeah, high energy. And he I didn't love when he came out, because to me it was just it didn't showcase what we know. But that's a casual fan. I'm not a Dave fan. I'm a Goose fan. So.
No, I mean I'm with you on that as well. I was hoping even for a Jimmy thing, or after they did Lie in Our Graves on Friday, which obviously is, I think, anybody who knows any part of the Dave Matthews Band catalog, I think anytime there's a guitar sit in, that's the first place your brain goes. But yeah, I was also kind of surprised by the choice, it being a slower song and not a Dave Matthews Band song, especially because Rick is such a big fan of Dave Matthews Band and has spoken about that so many times. It's not like he wouldn't know Jimmy thing, right? So I'm curious the thought process behind it and the discussion that went into it, whether there was if Dave talked to Rick and was like, what do you want to play? And Rick was like, I want to play the Maker, or Dave was like, you're playing the Maker. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Night one of the Gorge was classic Dave Matthews Band. They played half of Crash and half of Under the Table and Dreaming on night one. And they got rid of a lot of songs that Rick should have sat on. The Lie in Our Graves, like you said. Bartender's another one that Rick even said that's the one that he would want to sit on. And that was the fourth song of night one.
Yeah, you turned to me and you were like, this was supposed to be for Rick.
Yeah. And so night one, they played all these classic songs and got rid of a lot of the big heavy hitters. Night two, they played their best album start to finish, and they did the Watchtower and songs that also are known for having guitar sit-ins on. So by the time you get to night three, all that's really left is a lot of the newer stuff from albums from 2001 and beyond. And a lot of the slower songs and they still played some of the heavy hits, but there really wasn't anything that a guitarist is really known for sitting in on. There have been a lot of big sit-ins on the Maker over the years with guitarists. This guy Mitch Rutman, Victor Wooten. So it's cool that Rick got to sit in on it. It's so weird, looking at DMV Almanac and seeing Rick's name and the personnel. They're
cool.
Yeah. But overall, like Goose did a pretty good job. It was pretty surreal seeing like the sunset over the gorge with Goose playing.
It was stunning. Like the gorge is a bucket list venue for a reason.
Yeah.
The vibes were so high. The crowd was so nice. Like I was saying, this was not like a fish crowd. Like,
well, it's not a fish concert.
No, but like I mean, my intro to jam was Goose, so like I have been slowly learning, and like you can see the differences in the crowds. Like this was, They were respectful. They were into the music. There wasn't much chomping. Like I was told that other Dave Matthews shows, like if I went to see him at MSG, like that's not the crowd we'd see. This is like the crowd that comes to the gorge. They were a little bit older. They were into the music, and it was really great.
Yeah,
like,
this is like if you go to like a Goosemas, for example. People who are going to Goosemas want to be at Goosemas rather than like a Tuesday show in Indianapolis.
Right.
No offense to anyone from Indianapolis, but no, an example.
But no, exactly. Like the vibes were just so high. The sunsets were stunning. The gorge is a beautiful venue. There was really no bad seat in the house. We sat in the lawn nights 1 and 2, off in the corner, night 1, dead center night 2, and then we were down below for night 3. And the sound everywhere was impeccable.
It was.
I cannot wait for Goose to play there for real.
That was what I was thinking on night 2, because Goose was watching the show night 2. Rather than playing. And the whole time I was kind of like, Rick must be geeking out of like one day everyone is going to be here screaming my name. And like, it was just, I can't wait. I'm so excited. When are we doing this next year? 3 nights?
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a couple years before they're going to be able to pull 3 nights there, Jess.
I don't know. It was, right. I think Garrett? Everyone who was there last night would come back for Goose.
Yeah, the Goose camping scene is going to be pretty fun too.
We're all camping. All of us.
Get a yurt. I'm staying in the yurts.
I'm crashing with you.
No. Anyway, I look forward to that hopefully happening within the next couple of years. Obviously Pacific Gorge is a destination, but Pacific Northwest especially, they don't have the biggest draw. And the gorge is pretty huge. So I think, that's for them to decide when the right time is, but hopefully it's sooner rather than later, because I really, really want to go there. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this pod talking about last night's opening set. I'm sorry Kev had to miss this episode as our resident Dave Matthews Band fan. But he was very, very excited last night. Nobody's listened to Live at Luther College more than that guy. I know that's not the full band, but the point remains.
It's the Arevalo of Dave Matthews Band.
There you go. Well, that brings us to the close of this episode of Always Almost There, day after show. Our next one will be on September 13th. Goose plays in Canada, 14 hours away from where I live, unfortunately. But they are playing the Harvest Festival in Fredericton, New Brunswick, on, I believe, Friday, September 12th. That is our next show. Stay tuned. There is a possibility that we will have a very special episode coming out in between now and then. But of course, with September 12th, that means Fall Tour proper is officially beginning. They will be on the road. We will get some actual full Goose shows, which I personally am really excited about. And I don't know if everybody's seen, but today is September 1st, which means it's Big Modern Day. So happy first birthday to everybody's favorite song. You should be listening to it all day in celebration. Jess, would you like to talk about all the various things that you're doing? I can tell.
Yes. Happy birthday, Big Modern. Also, you should check out our newest episode on the Femme Flock. We just had Emily Bass on from Femme House, LPGOB's organization, trying to make a more equitable music industry, teaching women how to DJ and produce and the back end of the industry. So check out Femme House, check out the Femme Flock, our newest episode. Other than that, if you haven't heard, we've had Nico Suave on, Karina Reichman, Andy Frasco, the Western Sun Foundation, which they're going to be doing fundraising for Fall Tour. So definitely check it out.
And my mother.
We've had Lisa Borden on. Absolutely. yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming this fall for the Femme Flock. Definitely come find us at a show, grab a sticker, follow us on Instagram, hit us up if you're going to a show and you need a buddy. And as usual, wear glitter to a show.
Yes. If you need a buddy, they will send someone who's not Jess, because you will be Jess's buddy in that case. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And thanks everybody for spending your Labor Day afternoon with us. Enjoy the end of your long weekend. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace.